For this project, we're going to do the yellow fish game. I've got a couple of different examples here. I've got a basic example and a higher level example, and I've also got a start file for this project. So if you want to download the start file, just click on the link here, download it on the desktop in the downloads folder. And remember, you can't just double click on this file and open it. You need to go into Scratch, click on Create, and once you have a new file opened up, you're just going to go to File, Upload from my computer, and open it up from wherever you downloaded it, either downloads folder or desktop probably. Replace the contents of this project. Yes, that's okay, but only if you just created the project. You don't want to overwrite any of the old projects that you did. So now let's take a look at what the requirements are. First thing, create a yellow fish that moves by pressing the arrow keys. I've actually already got the yellow fish on the screen for you, and I have him appear on the screen at 0, -80, so in the middle towards the bottom. And I even have, when the right arrow is clicked, you're going to point in direction 90 degrees, so point right and move 10 steps. Now we just need to do left, up, and down. So what I'm going to do to make this move quicker is I'm going to control click on this set of blocks and duplicate it 3 times. And I'm just going to change a couple of these things in here. So instead of right arrow, I'm going to change it to left arrow. And instead of moving right, I'm going to have it move left. And I'll have this one go up and this one go down. So now if I press my arrow keys, I can move up, down, left, right. So I've got that first requirement out of the way. Now I want to create a shark sprite and have random movement and have it bounce if it touches the edge of the screen. Now this one we haven't done random yet, but it's pretty easy. It's just one block that we haven't used. So I'm going to click on the shark sprite. So already when the green flag is clicked, he's going to go to a specific location, x0, y80, so in the middle towards the top of the screen. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually drag in another when the green flag is clicked block, and I'm going to have him point in a specific direction, so that would be move. And right now he's pointing in a specific direction that's 90 degrees, but I want him to go into a random direction. So I'm actually going to go into the operators category, and I'm going to find this pick random number block, and I'm just going to drag this inside of the point in direction block. And once I get it inside of that block, it's going to point in direction between 1 and 10. And I'll change that to between 1 and 90 so it has more range. So now when the green flag is clicked, he's going to point in a random direction between 1 and 90. And then I also want him to move, and if he touches the edge, bounce. And I want this to repeat forever because I want him to always be moving around the screen. So I'll drag in a repeat forever block, and let's try it out. Click the green flag, and now he's moving around the screen. He's moving a little too fast, so I'll change it from 10 to 2, and now that looks pretty good. So now I've got the shark moving around the screen and bouncing if he touches the edge. And I also want to make this shark sprite broadcast a message if it eats or touches the yellow fish. So let's see, how would I do that? I'll just have this one continue off of this first green flag clicked. So what I want to do is I want to have this shark wait until he touches the yellow fish. So the wait block is actually still in this control category. So I'm going to drag that in. And now where would touching the yellow fish be? Well, it would probably be in sensing because I'm trying to sense when something happens. So if I click on sensing category, and it looks like this touching one would be the one that I want. So I'm going to drag that in. So I'm going to wait until I'm touching, and let's click on this arrow, and there's the yellow fish. So I'm waiting until the shark touches the yellow fish, and then I want to broadcast a message. So click on events, go to broadcast message, and we want to name this something. So if the shark is eating the yellow fish, let's call that shark eats. So now make the shark broadcast a message if it eats the yellow fish. So that looks pretty good. Next thing I want to do is create a smaller fish that the yellow fish is going to try and eat, and have that fish start in a random location. So I've got this already in there. This is a yellow fish here, but I don't have any blocks with it. So I'm going to pull out when the green flag is clicked. the first thing that I want to do is I want to have it start in a random position. So I'm going to, let's see, set the X to 0 and set the Y to 0, but instead of 0 I'm going to do random again. So remember, that's in operators. I'll put it in a random position here, and I could have this start anywhere. For the X position, all the way to the left edge would be negative 240, all the way to the right would be positive 240. So I'll have those be the numbers that it could be between, negative and positive 240, and for Y it's only 180. So I'll put those numbers in there. Oops, I had an extra negative sign in there. So now let's see, if I connect this on there, when the green flag is clicked, the shark or the orange fish is appearing in a random location every time I click it. So it appears in a random location. Now I want to have, when the smaller fish, that orange fish, gets eaten or touched by the yellow fish, it should broadcast a message, hide, and reappear a few seconds later in a different location. So what I want to do here is I want to wait again, just like we did before. Oops, control category, wait until touching the yellow fish, and then I want to broadcast another message. And this time, instead of the shark eating, it's the yellow fish that's eating. So now I'm starting in a random location, I'm waiting until I touch the yellowfish, and then I'm broadcasting a message that the yellowfish ate me, and now I want to hide. And wait for a couple of seconds, and I want to repeat it all over again. So now I want to have this repeat forever, and since it's hiding at the end, I need to make sure that it shows at the beginning. Pull that in there, and now this should be good.